Chris Christensen. I was Dr. Shibata's admin support for 6 years, and what a wonderful experience. Once he got to know me a little bit and found out that I'd been in the military, one of the running jokes that we had was that he always thought that I was in some special services because I lived in various places around the world and was kind of mysterious. He thought I was ex-CIA, ex-Secret Service, or one of those agencies that nobody talks about, because I was very mysterious about it. That was just to be a running joke with us. He says, one of these days you'll tell me. No, not yet. He was just a wonderful person to work for, a doctor to work for. He would give me an assignment, then we'd have to decide whether it was a task or a project. The little things were tasks. But when he'd come out and say, I have a project for you, then I got a little nervous. But he'd just tell me what he wanted and let me go about it. Never any standing over my shoulder, just get it done. And his empathy with the patients and the people was so special, especially in the latter part after he'd experienced so much. 6 years, I still sit at the desk and see him walking by or hear him calling. He was a wonderful person to work for.
My name is Paul Frankel. I'm a biostatistician and I've worked with Dr. Shibata for about 10 years. It's been a great honor to have worked with him. It's been a tremendous pleasure on a personal level. We've gotten to know each other quite well. We went golfing, myself and Dean and his son Benjamin. And Steve was very subtle in the way he expressed himself on the golf course, but you'd realize that if he was out there and missed his first or second shot, you'd see him miss a lot of shots after that as he got frustrated, but you couldn't tell from anything other than the fact that the ball kept on going on one side of the green to the other, and he would just get you'd get frustrated, but he wouldn't show it. You'd just see it by the number of strokes it took. And when it came to science and clinical trials, he had incredible patience. And actually there, he never seemed to get frustrated. It was such a pleasure working with him. And it was just amazing to watch him work. I know how difficult the job he has is, and to see him over so many years just consistently move forward and charge forward with tremendous energy. His intensity and his love for what he did was truly unparalleled. And I had the pleasure of working with him recently on an LOI. And as he was sick and in the hospital, I went and I told him, I said, by the way, I just made some changes and updated the LOI and sent it off to you and Vincent, and he gives me the big thumbs up. And that's how intense he was. It was very personal, very important what he did, and I know that he was very satisfied with so many things in his life. It was just you know, from the research to his family, he just had such a quality life. It was and such a pleasure to be a part of it in any way.
Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Someday you wish upon a star.
Hello, my name is Dean Lim. I've known Dr. Shibata for the past 14 years. That's how long I've been in City of Hope. Dr. Shibata is my best friend. He's my golf partner. We used to go to play golf on Saturday after a week busy day of work. And the only other thing that I didn't join Shibata is he likes to go deep water fishing. So he would always invite me to go with him, but I said I'm afraid of the water because I almost got killed one time, I almost got drowned, so I don't do that. And the other thing about professional side, that Dr. Shibata is so dedicated in his work. He would work endless hour. I see him sometimes on Saturday, he's working, finishing up protocol or reviewing IRB protocol. And what is important to know about Shibata, he never give up on any patient. He would do the best he can to make the patient well, and it was well received by all the patients. That's why when Shibata was not in the office and I take over his patient, the patient would always ask about him. They're very close to him, and also the house staff in City of Hope in general, they all respect him, and so that's the kind of person he is. So we're gonna sure miss him though. Even when he was getting therapy, he would, on the side effect of chemotherapy, he would always want to come to the office to see patient. So that's how dedicated he is. He's a great guy. We're all going to miss him.
Wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly.
So in the 18 plus years I worked with Steve, I have countless fond memories from our monthly Noodle Club dinners to early morning golf before work at Eaton Canyon to playing basketball in the City of Hope Basketball League. But I think probably my fondest memories of Steve were moments like this where we would just sit for extended periods of time and talk about science and talk about clinical research. Steve loved what he did, and he was brilliant at it, and he would always get excited when he talked about his research, and that's probably how I'll always remember Steve.
And the dream that you did to, oh why can't well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself.
So Steve was a great man. I mean, I've known him all my time here at City of Hope, and he was a workaholic. I mean, I would see him here on nights, on weekends, and he always had a smile on his face. But there's really one memory that I'm really fond of, and this is back at our GI meeting. And I think it was back in 2009, but this is the last year that we had the GI meeting in Hawaii. And I was actually talking to Steve saying, you know, this is going to be the last time we're in Hawaii. And he was like, well, you know, we should rent a car. So we actually skipped out and played hooky on one of the days of the GI conference. And you have to kind of imagine this. We had a flaming red Dodge Charger, and we're cruising around Hawaii with the windows open and the wind blowing through Steve's hair. And it was just a great time. We actually went to the macadamia nut factory, the volcano, and just cruised all over Hawaii. And his free spirit in terms of just, you know, bringing up the fact that, you know, this is the last time we're going to be in Hawaii, we need to really take advantage of it, you know, really reflected upon, you know, the kind of person he was, and he was just a great guy. And that's really one of the fondest memories that, you know, I really have, and I really miss him.
What a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue, and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of...
Dr. Shibata was a kind and compassionate person, and therefore a kind and compassionate physician. His patients really appreciated his style of listening and caring for them. He will be missed, but I think he would want us to continue his work and continue caring for our patients with love and compassion.
People passing by, I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself.
We have great memories of Steve because he was an active participant in our Pastrami Bowl. So every November, starting in 2002, he and Dr. Warren Chow would be on one side. They would root for USC, and Dr. Morgan and I would root for Notre Dame. And as you know, we're pretty obnoxious about Notre Dame, and we use kazoos to play their football song. But whoever won bought the other one pastrami.
And for about 10 years in a row, USC would win the Notre Dame USC Pastrami Bowl. And consequently, we had this, last year, Dr. Shibata insisted that we not just get him a pastrami sandwich, but that we serve him a pastrami sandwich on an official plate.
With white linen.
With linen. He was lucky to get the pastrami at all.
We've done pastrami quesadillas, which he particularly liked. We've done the pastrami up here at Jean's Grinders. We've done pastrami from Pasadena Sandwich Company. I think in the 10 years, probably, we only got them to serve us 2.
And that was a mistake.
And it had to do with point spread. I don't ever think
we won one outright.
but we remain loyal Notre Dame fans. So we have some great pictures and memories of Steve enjoying his pastrami bowl.
And we suspect Steve is enjoying the pastramis right now.
Heavenly pastramis.
Heavenly.
What a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find.
So I've known Dr. Shibata for as long as I've been at City of Hope, and I always knew that he was one of the nicest physicians we have here. Even before I started working with him closely, and when I did start to work with him more about 7 or 8 years ago, it became very obvious. Not only is he one of the nicest physicians, but is also one of the most remarkable persons that I've ever known. And one of my most fondest memories of him actually is the way he would laugh. It's a very boyish laughter is infectious, and I cannot begin to imitate it. Maybe Prudence can do that a little later, but very, very cute laugh, really. And then the other thing too is the analogies that he would come up with. You tell him anything, or like the patients would tell him about the symptoms or an experience, and he would immediately, right on the spot, come up with some analogy that nobody else could dream of. And a lot of times after the patient appointments, I would ask him, where on earth did you come up with that? And he'd start with that boyish laughter again, and it was just a lot of fun working with him. Really miss him.